If you're anxiously attached, did you know that it's blocking you from experiencing true intimacy, love, and the connection that you've been looking for all of your life? The very thing that you're doing to try to be nice to others is actually keeping you from ever being truly happy. And the people in your life may actually secretly resent you for what you're doing. I know, because I was once anxiously attached before fixing it. Before I got my master's degree in psychology, before I did 3 years of apprenticeship under other therapists, and before I became a licensed therapist myself. Now I'm the attachment specialist, and I show people the truth about their own attachment challenges and how to fix their relationships for life. Today I'm going to show you why you never feel good enough, why you don't get the love and connection you've been looking for, and how you're going to do from today onward to start building true intimacy with the people that you love. I'm also going to share pieces of my own story. Things that you probably are going to learn about me that I've never really shared publicly before. I want to give you the information you need and maybe even pull from my own experience so that you can understand how to fix your anxious attachment, because you have so much love to give and it's time to start showing it the right way so that people can really love you and treasure you the way that you do deserve. So let's jump right in here. And for those of you who are just catching up to the channel, welcome. There's been thousands and thousands of new followers. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for being here with me. Let's briefly review anxious attachment style. Okay. What is anxious attachment? It is the belief deep down on the inside that there is something unlovable about you, that you don't deserve to be loved, that if people see this thing, they will never accept you. They'll abandon you. They'll say, you don't deserve me. Get away from me. And they'll push you away, or they'll pity you and they won't want to be around you at all. And that thing is what you have to keep a perfect cardboard cutout in front of yourself at all times that is always happy, always perfect, always ready to serve. And you have to do things for others so that they will accept you and not abandon you. Okay. Anxious attachment comes from childhood experiences where somebody made you feel unloved. It doesn't have to be abuse, but it can be. It doesn't have to be daycare where you feel abandoned, but it can be. It doesn't have to be being in the NICU as a little kid and crying and crying and crying and nobody came to care for you, but it could be. It could also just be, why are my parents close to me sometimes and love me and then pull away and have nothing to do with me? Why do I keep feeling left alone? Why does it keep feeling like I've done something wrong? Why are they mad at me sometimes? Why do they snap at me sometimes? Where is dad? Why isn't he ever here? It can just be misunderstanding. But usually the child gets a hormone called oxytocin, which is the love hormone. They feel loved. And then somehow that love is taken away or perceived to be taken away. And it happens over and over and over. And the child keeps saying, what am I doing that's making you stop being around me? Maybe the parents are just exhausted. And so they check out constantly. They give real love and then check out completely. And the child never understands why. So they feel like it's their fault. This can happen over and over. It can also happen if your parents criticize you, verbally attack you at times, if they're just rough and vicious to you, if they just don't care about your feelings and they just don't get what it's like to be that criticized. That can also create anxious attachment style. It feels like you are unlovable. It feels like you are never going to be good enough. No matter what you do, how hard you work, how many achievements you rack up, it is never enough because you are playing with a negative 1 million points hidden inside of you somewhere. You can never even reach zero. You will never even be neutral. So you have to make sure nobody sees that by making them happy, by appeasing other people, maybe even by violating your own principles and goals just to please people. It is a terrible feeling that you yourself can never count on you, and that if anybody ever sees you, they will never really love you. Now, this anxious attachment style, it actually protects you because you don't run out there making demands of other people. You give and give and give and give and give, and you try to make other people happy. It protects you from being exposed. It protects you from having to face hard conflicts. It protects you from being abandoned, or so you think. But it makes you really unhappy in yourself because you do things that you don't agree with. You don't do things that you do know are important. You sacrifice things and give things up so that other people could take them. But then those people, most of them are not loving, gracious people. You attract takers. You don't really attract givers. You are a giver. I remember I did this myself, unfortunately, as a very, very young teen, and even as in the late teens. I did this myself. I tried to please other people. I tried to be perfect. I tried to achieve everything I could. I burned out when I was very, very young. I got really depressed, and I didn't feel life was ever going to get better. I tried to solve all my problems by myself because I was ashamed to ever share them with other people. I kept everything inside. If someone upset me, I would never say anything about it. I would just try harder to please them. It ruined my life. It made me miserable. It made me feel hopeless. And when I fixed it, because I couldn't take it anymore, I started saying what I needed to say. I started fixing those things, pushing back, having real conversations, having real balance in my relationships. When I did, I started fixing my attachment. And it made me want to fix your attachment. So you should too. You should want to fix your own attachment as well. That's why I'm here telling you that this is not a normal feeling. Anxious attachment style is a survival adaptation that your brain has turned on in an environment where people are not giving you the love and care that you need, not adequately, not consistently. So I'm going to tell you this. I was not a great person when I had anxious attachment. I didn't do some evil, horrible things, but I wasn't a great person because I was often resentful. I did things so that people would be happy. I did things and then thought how this would benefit me. Every little thing I did I had to figure out how is this going to make somebody like me more. Everything was done from that secret perspective. And again, it wasn't to exploit anybody. It was because I didn't know that relationships could just be honest and fulfilling. They didn't have to be performative. They didn't have to be exhausting. Now, what this caused was the bad people who circled around me wanted to take and take and take, and I had nothing left for the good people, the healthy, stable people who wanted a relationship with me. And I wouldn't be open and honest with those stable, healthy people, so they figured I didn't want interesting relationships with them either. And if I ever did connect with them, I was resentful because I would do good things for them and never ask for anything in return, then be upset when they never did anything in return or didn't know what I wanted. I was not a good friend. So let me ask you, have you ever wondered what other people really see in your anxious style behaviors? Most anxiously attached people thought they looked like I thought I looked, okay? Nice, considerate, reasonable, friendly. But what anxious people actually look like is secretive, untrusting, needy, resentful, okay? It's not a good look. Other people are actually afraid of you because you're unpredictable. You're trying to be so nice. It makes you seem confusing and untrustworthy. And you don't mean to, I understand. But it makes you look like somebody that they should never trust because you'll never share what you really think. You'll never share what you really need. There's going to be secret contracts signed. When you give somebody a kindness, what are you asking for in return? They don't know. And after your first emotional blow up where you get upset or frustrated that nobody cares about me right now, nobody wants to be taken care of by you ever again because now they know their secret contracts. This is why secure people will usually pass you by. They can actually see the pressure building up in you as you just care and care and care and burn yourself out caring for other people. But unfortunately, more controlling people will see this as an opportunity to push into your lack of boundaries. They're going to push in. They're going to grab everything they can. They're going to run off when feelings turn ugly. Really manipulative people are happy to harvest you for everything, then make it your fault when you get upset, step back and wait for you to cool down, then step back in and see if you're willing to be grateful for their return. So in actuality, what you're attracting is thieves, not friends. Now, I want to hammer this point. None of this is because you're a bad person. You're actually trying to be kind and loving. Anxiously attached people know what it's like to live without love, to be starving for love, to crave love and approval. They have deep compassion for other people and they're trying to give good and they're trying to give love. Again, I remember I was there, but it's time to learn what you've actually looked like. It's time to learn why other people have avoided you. They avoid you on purpose if they're healthy because they know you're not sustainable. They know you won't be able to form a healthy relationship with them. You're going to form a temporary one that is based on deceit and secrets. Avoidant people will actually think you're toxic because you'll seem like a liar. You'll seem like a manipulator. You're going to seem like a schemer. Some of you have watched my previous video series, How Anxious Women Are Toxic for Avoidant Men. And a lot of people go into that video and say, Adam hates women and he hates anxious people. No, I was an anxious person and I love women. I have a wife. I have a sister. I have 3 daughters, right? I love women. They're fantastic, but they look massively toxic and manipulative to avoidant people. They are toxic for avoidant people. They're one of the avoidant person's worst fears because they're secretive. Now, you out there watching this right now, you are not toxic in that way. And I get that. But these people will think that you are. That's why people that watch those videos are raging at me in the comments because it makes them so hurt to hear that somebody else thinks they're toxic. Avoidant people also will have no idea what you bring to the table. They have no idea how much you love them because you keep those signals locked inside. They need to see more to understand you. Everybody needs to see you to be able to understand you. So for you to be able to get out and build real intimacy and real trust and real connection, here's what you're going to do differently in your life. Number 1, you're going to need to regulate your own emotions. This is not about killing your feelings, by the way, but managing your emotions with discipline. For me, that was using physical body techniques to bring the agitation on my emotional right side brain down and restore full logical functioning on the left side. There's a physical technique that I've used for over 10 years now with my own clients. First in therapy, working with severe trauma cases and panic attacks. Now as a coach, working with people who have anxiety challenges. I have the same technique. If you need help, shoot me an email, support@adamlanesmith.com. I can show you some self-regulation techniques, but physical body techniques tend to work the best. You need to learn to manage your own emotions so that you don't rely on other people to do it for you. Again, it's not about killing your feelings, it's managing them through discipline. Now, the next step you need to do is build boundaries. Once you do this, everything starts falling into place. You can push back appropriately, and people can also trust you because you push back appropriately. So boundaries are drawn from your goals and principles. I talk about this extensively in my Attachment Bootcamp video course. I teach this extensively in my Attachment Circle mentorship community. Your goals and principles are the starting foundation for your own boundaries. It's not even your own feelings. It's what you're trying to achieve and what is right and wrong. Being able to push back appropriately makes other people trust you. The next step is learning how to stop being nice and start being kind. It's all about those secret expectations. When you do something genuinely kind for somebody else, either you don't have a clear expectation for them, you're doing it for a reason, or your clear expectations are made very clear. I'm doing this for you because X. Sometimes what you might say when you give charity to somebody, hey, this is not just me handing you cash. I am investing in the person I know you can become. To pay me back, make sure that you become that person. A nice act would be, oh, I'm just giving this to you because you need it right now. I hope you feel better. Does that make sense? Nice and kind. You might do the same thing, but the way you present it is different. You have to not have secret expectations. This is why people don't trust you. You also need to be clear about those expectations, okay? It's best for other people to know what the price is. Hey, I'm going to do all these wonderful things for you. Here's something I need in return. Can you take care of this for me, please? Can we take care of each other? Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Everybody can calm down and relax. You don't have to wonder what you're secretly wanting. Explaining that why behind your kindness is especially effective. Avoidant people need reasons. One of my best friends in the world is avoidantly attached, and I never, ever, ever will forget him taking me aside and saying, Adam, I need you to start telling me why you're doing nice things for me and being kind to me. And I said, what? And he said, I need to understand your selfish reasons. Otherwise, I can never, ever trust you again. And I said, what do you mean? He said, when you do nice things for me and I ask why, you just say, well, it's because I like you. It's because I care about you. I'm just doing it because I just want to. And he said, that doesn't make sense. I need to understand why. Are you investing in me? Are you doing it because you feel good? Are you doing it because of your religion tells you to do it? Please help me understand why. And I said, okay, I guess that makes sense. Part of this is avoidantly attached people don't have the oxytocin flow, so they don't understand the compulsive feeling to give kindness or affection to others. They don't understand that quite yet. People and anxiously attached people out there, you'll understand when you have high oxytocin, you have a compulsive desire to give affection. We understand that, but avoidantly attached people don't. So you need to be able to describe the why in a way, especially that avoidantly attached people can understand. Otherwise, they think you're lying or crazy. Attached people should also be direct in their language and conflicts. Everybody prefers this. Avoidant people prefer it. Healthy, secure people, even you prefer it. When people are clear and direct with you, you love it. But you're afraid to give it to other people because it feels rude, abrasive, exposing. Learn clear, direct communication. I have another video on this channel called How to Talk Like a Man. That's a great video for this. I also talk about clear, direct, risk-associated language inside the How to Love an Avoidant Man video course. That's linked below. It's also on my website, adamlanesmith.com. There's ways to learn this direct communication, especially with avoidant people. Learn. Now, these 6 key changes not only make you more desirable and they build true emotional intimacy, they also build you a path to becoming fully secure yourself. What I call the remade secure attachment style. But if this process seems daunting to do alone, remember, I went through it alone and it was awful. And that's exactly why I coach people now every single day in individual coaching, in my group mentorship program, in couples coaching, to overcome those anxious attachment tendencies, to achieve these 6 big changes, plus many other changes that come after those initial changes are complete. I am here to help. Reach out in the comments, reach out an email, support@adamlanesmith.com. I will give you some next steps to help you move forward. Now, keep in mind, anxious attachment style comes from a desire to please others, but also to give them the love that you never received. So it is time to fix your boundary problems, your communication gaps, and to be clear about your expectations so the best possible people will find you predictable and trustworthy. When you've connected with those right people in the right way, you will finally get the emotional intimacy you've been craving all of your life. And you will be able to give that love that you have inside of you that other people need so badly. Anxiously attached people out there, I'm going to say this. The world needs more love in it, not less. And you know that. And you know exactly what it's like to live without love more than anybody else does. The world needs you, but it needs the best version of you. And if you're anxiously attached, you are not putting the best version of you out into the world. You are cutting short your ability to give love, and you're cutting off your ability to receive love. So if you get stuck, I am here to help you. One previously anxiously attached person to you now. If you get stuck at any part of this process, please reach out. Right now, what I recommend you do is go check out my next video, 7 signs you might be anxiously attached, for an exploration into how deep your attachment challenge might go. That will help you assess your anxious attachment and see what your next step needs to be. Check out that video. I'll see you there.